Hello everyone. So in this video I'm just going to show you how you can use Claude to produce a LinkedIn carousel for you in literally just a few prompts, which just take you a few minutes really. There might be a little bit of editing that you need to do. You can take this from, because it will actually produce, this is obviously just the first slide of 8. So it produces the slides, that Claude actually produces the slides. Or the carousel images, which is basically the benefit of using this for your content is LinkedIn really prioritize carousels. Carousels are just a set of images, like a slideshow, because it's close to dwell time. So the algorithm really gives preference to these because it keeps people engaged. It's got dwell time, like I said, where people are consuming this content. It takes them a long time to go through this, so it holds people's attention. So it is a really good content medium. So I'm just going to show you how, as I said, we can use Claude to produce this for us. So as I say, this is just the first slide of 8, but what we're going to do now is just show you the prompts that we use in Claude. I'll show you how I did it, and we'll just go through that process again. Okay, so this is the first prompt that we used, so we'll just go through it again just to show you it live. So the prompt is: my business helps wealth management firms and advisors leverage AI in their business to generate leads and increase productivity. First, you will analyze the attached newsletter and repurpose it into a format that will work for a carousel post. I've included best practices for carousels so you understand the best way to format it. Secondly, you'll create a SVG for the design, which is a file type, of the carousel using the draft you created above. For best practices, follow the project knowledge and example styles that I uploaded. Okay, so basically what we've done here is we started projects. So the first thing that you need to do actually before that is, if you go to projects, and I've got it here, but I'll start it again. So what we do is we press start new project, call this LinkedIn carousel, create project. And then what we're doing now basically is just training this kind of project on what it is that we want it to do. So we upload information to it here. So what we're going to do is give it find out how it needs to best do this, basically. So because Claude is obviously connected to the internet, so we're basically doing a search to ask it what are the best practices for creating highly engaging LinkedIn carousel posts, and so using artifacts for answers. So as you can see, it starts pulling in now all this information in terms of the best practices in terms of creating LinkedIn carousel posts. So it's going to storytelling structure, types of high performing carousels, visual clarity, compelling visuals, optimizing your LinkedIn with the carousel with the algorithm, creation tools, excuse me, measuring success. So all this really good information that it's pulling in. So now it's letting us know what it's done. Okay, so that's good. So if we go here and copy to project, so that'll save that information. And then close that down. We'll see now that it's there in the product knowledge. So what we also want to do is give it some more knowledge. So this is from LinkedIn Helper. So I'm going to feed it this information. So what I'm going to do is, we can't copy and paste the link. So what we're going to do is copy and paste the text and put this and all the full kind of article, and put this into a Google Doc. So I'll just open a doc, start a blank document. I just paste in. So that's all the information off that article. So this has got the visuals in it. So this is showing images of how carousels look. So it's got it all in here from that article. So just name that, and then I'll just download it. Let's download that as a PDF, and then we'll go back to Claude. And so we want to add another document to that knowledge. So there's the carousel PDF. Okay, so now we'll get to the point where we put the actual prompt in. So obviously you'll edit this prompt depending on obviously your business and what you help, who you help. So in terms of your market, you put that in there. I've put in here the font that I use for my kind of branding, Duringer Cereal, it's called. So I like to use the font Duringer Cereal. And what we're doing is we're taking, in this example, the information from a newsletter that I've done. So I'm going to upload the newsletter. So that's the information that it's taken from to create these slides, the carousel. So I'll upload that. It's just on I've just copy and pasted it into a Google Doc. Okay, so this is the actual prompts that we're using then. So obviously you'll edit this depending on obviously who you help, your market, and yeah, I've got in there that I use Duringer Cereal as the font, so I want it to use that specific font, which is obviously the font that I use in my branding. So you can put whatever font you want in there. If you don't have a specific font that you want to use, you just obviously leave that out and it'll just generate you one. And the kind of source of information that it's kind of basing this carousel on, for this example, is a LinkedIn newsletter that I did. So basically what we're doing here is feeding it the... so basically what we're doing here is feeding it the newsletter. So I just copy and paste the newsletter that I did on LinkedIn. And put that into a Google Doc. Save that as a PDF. And then upload that into Claude. And then send that through. And so here it goes. It's telling us what it's going to do. It's analysing the newsletter content, and it's giving us again what it's doing, how it's going to format the slides. Slide 1 hook, slide 2 context, main content, slide 3. And so off it goes now, creating all the code to create the actual designs. So the colour palette there, it's using blues. So for the one that I actually produced, I fed that back and said, can you create it in... I just uploaded a document, a previous file that I've done, a previous slide, to give it context in terms of the colours. So, where was it? Slide. So I just uploaded like I said, an image with the colours and that I've used previously and said, please use this colour. And it's not, you can see there that font is not my font, so it's saying it'll update the carousel to match the brand colours and use Deringer serial font. So again, now it's producing the code to create these the carousel. So what it produces, as I say, you can just, if there's something you don't like, you can take that and just edit it somewhere else in Canva, for example. So that's what I did. I put my logo on it in Canva. I did try uploading my logo to Claude for it to include, but it didn't pull it through in the right way. And it just created its own version of it, which wasn't the version that I sent it through. So I just took that bit out and in Canva and replaced it with my logo. So now it's produced the carousel. As I say, that's I'll show you the final version. So that's the first slide. And also what I did is I just asked it to create a bit of an intro post to post with the actual images. So you just post these as images in LinkedIn. So, but you'd obviously put a caption with the images. So please create an intro post for the carousel. And so yeah, so you can just read through that, make sure it's all good. If it is, copy paste it. If it isn't, just make some changes, and then yeah, you just upload them straight into LinkedIn. And how you do that is, show you now on LinkedIn. So we just go to photo. And just add the 8, open. So you've got them all loaded in there next. And then we just go and copy and paste the caption that it produced. You can obviously, it suggests some hashtags. I don't really use hashtags these days. I don't see that they really bring any value. So I'll leave them out. But so yeah, you just add some white space between the sentences. Take out any Americanized spellings if you're in the UK. And yeah, I make the posts, and that's the post done very quickly. If anybody's got any questions on that, be sure to let me know. Thank you.